Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama-shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Gurun Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Om Jnanatamrindasya Gyananjana-shalakya Chakshurunmilitamena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swaminiti Namni Namacharya Padaya Nitai Kripapradayani Gaur Katha Dhamdaya Nagar Gram Tarni Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namni Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Pracharne Nirvisesh Sunavadi Asya Deshtarni Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 4 Chapter 1 Text 7 Toshah Pratoshah Santosho Bhadra Shantir Idaspati Idma Kavir Vibhu Swapna Sudevo Rochano Dvishat. The 12 boys born of Yajna and Dakshina were named Tosha, Pratosha, Santosha, Bhadra, Shanti, Idaspati, Idma, Kavi, Vibhu, Swahna, Sudeva, and Rochana. Tushita namate deva asan swayam bhuvantare Marichi Mishra Rishayo Yajna Suraganeshwara. During the time of Swayambhuva Manu, these sons all became the demigods, collectively known as Tushitas. Actually, I forgot to tell, I got reply from Banu Maharaj last week only. Somehow I kept on forgetting about the 33 crore devatas. I hope he's there, Dar Ram Govind Prabhu. And for everyone, he said it's not very clear, 33 crore about that, whether 33. Wait, just a minute. I will. That's what he said, no? And so there are so many different types of devatas. Wait, let me read Banu Maharaj. Exact number of devatas is not described in the Bhagavatam. So we don't know exactly how many, 33 or 33 crore. But all along, I mean, in so many of our literatures, it's mentioned. Bhagavatam, it doesn't mention. And then about the sun god, whether sun himself is, Surya Narayan and all that. I had asked him. It seems the devatas act as the sun's vibhutis. The sun is also a vibhuti of the Lord. So the sun god is not Surya Narayan. He is only vibhuti, because we learn about, there are Satyavesha avatars and there are vibhutis. Satyavesha avatar has got more power. They're more empowered. Vibhutis are great opulences of the Lord. And so the sun god is also a vibhuti, and all the other devatas who act as, sun god in different months, we saw, they're also the vibhutis of the Lord. And the gopis who have husbands have expansions who stay with the husband. That's another thing. Vedvit Nimai Prabhu had asked about if they have this facility to, leave behind their material, this thing, then it must be easy. The gopis who have husbands have expansions who stay with the husbands when they participate in the rasa dance. So only for those, those who have husbands, then they have this facility. Okay, so I hope all the answers are given. During the time of these demigods, 6 kinds of living entities were generated. No, during the time of Swayambhu Manu, These sons, these 12 sons, all became the demigods, collectively known as Tushitas. Marichi became the head of the 7 rishis, and Yajna became the king of the demigods, Indra. So Yajna became Indra, and Marichi became the head of the 7 rishis. During the life of Swayambhuva Manu, 6 kinds of living entities were generated from the demigods, known as Tushitas, from the sages headed by Marichi, and from descendants of Yajna, king of demigods, and all of them expanded their progeny to observe the order of the Lord to fill the universe with living entities. These 6 kinds of living entities are known as Manus, Devas, Manuputras, Amshavataras, Sureshwaras, and Rishis. Yajna, being the incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, became the leader of the demigods, Indra. So you see what a variety of demigods. We not just know some handful and then we say, oh, there must be 33. There must be, why not 33 crores? Just see, here only none of, did you know that they were, so from Tushitas, collectively, all the sons of um, Tushitas were the sons of Yajna and what is that name? Dakshina. And all these sons were called collectively as Tushitas. And 6 kinds of living entities were generated from the demigods known as Tushitas, from the sages headed by Marichi, and from the descendants of Yajna, king of the demigods. So all these people together all of them expanded. And from them came 6 types of living entities under the order of the Lord. And what were their 6 types of living entities? Manus, Devas, Manuputras, Amshavataras, Sureshwaras, and Rishis. Yajna, being the incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, became the leader of the demigods, Indra. Priyavratottanapadau Manuputrau Mahojasau Tatputrapautra Anuvrittam Tad Antaram. Swayambhu Manu's 2 sons, Priyavrata and Uttanapada, became very powerful kings, and their sons and grandsons spread all over the 3 worlds during that period. Yes. Manuputra, sons of Manu. Yes, okay. Devahuti Nam Adatata. So this is about Akuti. And from Akuti, married to which Rishi? What's his name? Ruchi. Akuti married Ruchi, and they got they got Yajna and Dakshina. And from Dakshina and Yajna came the Tushitas. Now we see Devahuti. Swayambhu Manu's 2 sons, Priyavatra. Okay, then. So Devahuti, Sanskrit for this. Devahutim Adathata Karadam Yatmacham Manu Tat Sambandhi Shrutaprayam Bhavata Gadato Mama. My dear son, Swayambhu Manu handed over his very dear daughter Devahuti to Karadama Muni. I've already spoken to you about them, and you've heard about them almost in full. So in the 3rd canto, we read about Devahuti and Karadama Muni, very important, very exalted personalities. And they got Kapila Muni as their son, who gave the Sankhya philosophy. Dakshaya Brahmaputraya Prasutim Bhagavan Manu Prayachat Yat Krita Sargas Trilokyam Vitato Mahan. Swayambhuva Manu handed over his daughter Prasuti to the son of Brahma named Daksha, who was also one of the progenitors of the living entities. The descendants of Daksha are spread throughout the three worlds. So imagine we're going to be talking about Daksha Yajna. I mean, we'll be reading that. And Daksha was actually he also came from Brahma, but he was very attached. Oh, yeah, that is why. He was very attached to Lord Brahma, and that's why he became inimical to Shiva because of some reason. We'll see that. Ya Karadama Sutha Prokta Nava Brahma Rishi Patnaya Tasam Prasuti Prasavam Prochyamanam Nibodame. You've already been informed about the 9 daughters of Karadama Muni who were handed over to the 9 great sages. I shall now describe the descendants of those 9 daughters. Please hear from me. The third canto has already described how Karadama Muni begot 9 daughters in Devahuti, and how all the daughters were later handed over to great sages like Marichi, Atri, and Vasishta. Patni Marichestu Kala Shushave Karadamatmaja Kashyapam Purnamanam Cha Yayor Apuritam Jagat. Karadama Muni's daughter Kala, who was married to Marichi, gave birth to 2 children whose names were Kashyapa and Purnima. Their descendants are spread all over the world. So Kashyapa Muni must be from Marichi. And Marichi married one of the 9 daughters of Karadama Muni, and their sons were Kashyapa and Purnima. Two children. Purnima was girl or boy, we don't know. Their descendants are spread all over the world. Then Purnima Sutha Virajam Vishwagham Cha Parantapa Devakulyam Hare Pada Shauchadya Bhut Sarit Diva. My dear Vidura, of the 2 sons, so Purnima is also a son, Kashyapa and Purnima. Purnima begot 3 children, namely Viraja, Vishwaga, and Devakulya. Of these 3, Devakulya was the water which washed the lotus feet of the personality of Godhead and which later on transformed into Ganges of the heavenly planets. Of the 2 sons Kashyapa and Purnima, herein Purnima's descendants are described. An elaborate description of these descendants will be given in the 6th canto. It is also understood herein that Devakulya is the presiding deity of the river Ganges, which comes down from the heavenly planets to this planet and is accepted to be sanctified because it touched the lotus feet of the personality of Godhead Hari. So the presiding deity, because Devakulya was the water which washed the lotus feet of the personality of Godhead and which later on transformed into Ganges. So first, Ganga is Devakulya, known as. And okay, that is Purnima's children. Atre Patni Anusaya Treen Jagne Suyasha Suthan Dattam Durvasasam Somam Atmesha Brahma Sambhavan. Anasuya, the wife of Atri Muni, gave birth to 3 very famous sons, Soma, Dattatreya, and Durvasa, who were partial representatives of Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva, and Brahma. Oh, I thought Durvasa was Shiva. Soma is a representation of. Soma was a partial representation of Lord Brahma. Dattatreya was a partial representation of Lord Vishnu. And Durvasa was a partial representation of Lord Shiva. In this verse, we find the words Atma, Isha, Brahma, Sambhavan. Atma means super soul or Vishnu. Isha means Lord Shiva. And Brahma means the 4-headed Lord Brahma. the three sons born of Anasuya, Dattatreya, Durvasa, and Soma, were born as partial representations of these three demigods. Atma is not in the category of the demigods or living entities because he is Vishnu. Therefore, he is described as Vibhinnamsha Bhutanam. The supersoul Vishnu is the seed giving father of all living entities, including Brahma and Lord Shiva. Another meaning of the word Atma, because Krishna is the Atma of the Atma, so he is Atma. Another meaning of the word Atma may be accepted in this way: the principle whose super soul in every Atma, or one may say the soul of everyone, became manifested as Dattatreya because the word Amsha, part and parcel, is used here. So we know Dattatreya, how he had three form. I mean, he is Vishnu's incarnation, but he had three heads representing Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, because Atri Muni wanted whoever is the supreme, and he didn't know. He was confused. He didn't know who's the supreme, Brahma, Vishnu, or Shiva. So all three came, and because of that, in Bhagavad Gita, the individual souls are also described as parts of the supreme personality of Godhead or super soul. So why not accept that Dattatreya was one of those parts? Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma also described here as parts. So why not accept all of them as ordinary individual souls? The answer is that manifestations of Vishnu and those of the ordinary living entities are certainly all parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord, and no one is equal to him. But among the parts and parcels, there are different categories. In the Varaha Purana, it is nicely explained that some of the parts are Swamsha and some are Vipinamsa. Vipinamsa parts are called Jivas, and Swamsa parts are in the Vishnu categories. In the Jiva category, the Vibhinamsha parts and parcels, there are also gradations. That is explained in the Vishnu Purana, where it is clearly stated that the individual parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord are subject to being covered by the external energy called illusion or Maya. Such individual parts and parcels who can travel to any part of the Lord's creation are called Sarvagata and are suffering the pangs of material existence. They are proportionately freed from the coverings of ignorance under material existence according to different levels of work and under different influences of the modes of material nature. For example, the sufferings of jivas situated in the mode of goodness are less than those of jivas situated in the mode of ignorance. Pure Krishna consciousness, however, is the birthright of all living entities because every living entity is part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. The consciousness of the Lord is also in the part and parcel, and according to the proportion to which the consciousness is cleared of material dirt, the living entities are differently situated. In the Vedanta Sutra, the living entities of different gradations are compared to candles or lamps with different candle power. For example, some electric bulbs have the power of 1000 candles, some have the power of 500 candles, some the power of 100 candles, some 50, etc. But all electric bulbs have light. Light is present in every bulb, but the gradations of light are different. Similarly, there are gradations of Brahman. The Vishnu Swamsa expansions of the Supreme Lord in different Vishnu forms are like lamps. Lord Shiva is also like a lamp, and the supreme candle power or the 100% light is Krishna. The Vishnu Tattva has 94%, Shiva Tattva has 84%, Lord Brahma has 78%, and the living entities are also like Brahma, but in the conditioned state, their power is still more dim than. There are gradations of Brahman, and no one can deny this fact. Therefore, the words Atmesha Brahma Sambhavan indicate that Dattatreya was directly part and parcel of Vishnu, whereas Durvasa and Soma were parts and parcels of Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma. So they are expansions of Vishnu, directly part and parcel of Vishnu. We are, like separated. Vibhinnamsa is separated parts and parcels, and Swamsa are direct parts and parcels. So all these categories of the Lord's expansions, some extent, Swamsa and Vibhinnamsa. Swamsa are parts of Vishnu category, Vishnu Tattva, and Vibhinnamsa are Jiva category. And among the three sons, Dattatreya was in the Vishnu category, Vishnu Tattva category, and Soma is in the Jiva category because of Brahma's expansion or representation, and Durvasa is Shiva Tattva category. Vidura Uvacha Atrer Grihe Surashreshta Stiti Utpatti Antahetava Kinchit Chikir Shavo Jata Jata Etad Akya Hime Guru. After hearing this, Vidura inquired from Maitreya, "My dear master, how is it that the three deities, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, who are the creator, maintainer, and destroyer of the whole creation, become the offspring of the wife of Atri Muni?" So then, purport. The inquisitiveness of Vidura was quite fitting, for he understood that when the super soul, Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, all appeared through the person of Anasuya, the wife of Atri Muni, there must have been some great purpose. Otherwise, why should they have appeared in such a way? Maitre Uvacha Brahmana Chodithas Srishta Atrir Brahma Vidambara Sahapatnya Yaya Vriksham Kuladrim Tapasi Sita. Maitreya said, when Lord Brahma ordered Atri Muni to create generations after marrying Anasuya, Atri Muni and his wife went to perform severe austerities in the valley of mountain known as Riksha. See, to create progeny is not an easy thing. Good progeny. So, because they were interested and Brahma ordered them. Now, the today's world, I don't like it. I don't want children. It's my life. People say, but look here, that Brahmaji is ordering them. You create children. They never said it's our life. We don't want children. You produce children. And for that, they did tapasya. It's not, it's a great blessing to get children. So we have to teach the younger generation. First of all, your life is not your own to decide whether I want children or not. It's your duty. It's a obligation. We have rin, pitririn. So pitririn is fulfilled by begetting children. You can't say, I don't want, because you know what? I want to enjoy myself. And I don't know how long my marriage will even last. So I don't want children. This is all Kali Yuga problems. But look at this. They performed severe austerities in the valley of the mountain known as Riksha. So actually, when our devotee children get married, they should first nicely chant and become very nice devotees, then try for children. Because some little tapasya should be there, some purification, then nice devotee progeny in a nice consciousness with performing Garbhodana samskara and all that. Tasmin prasuna stabaka palasha shoka kanane varbi shravadbir udgushte nirvindhyaya samantata. In that mountain valley flows a river named Nirvindya. On the bank of the river are many ashoka trees and other plants full of palasa flowers. And there is always the sweet sound of water flowing from a waterfall. the husband and wife reached that beautiful place for doing tapasya. Pranayamena samyamya manovarsha shatam muni atishad ekapadena nirdvandvo nilabojana. There the great sage concentrated his mind by the yogic breathing exercises, and thereby controlling all attachment. He remained standing on one leg only, eating nothing but air, and stood there on one leg for 100 years. Just imagine how much tapasya they underwent to get a good child. And here we don't even believe in all that. We think automatically it should happen, and I don't know, or we try all different medical means to somehow artificially induce. Here, I mean, getting a child, you have to please the Lord. Actually, doing tapasya in this beautiful, see, Bhagavatam also mentions all these great sages or even great kings in order to perform their duty, I mean, do tapasya, they went to all these beautiful scenic places, not just simply one cave somewhere. Why? Because beautiful mountains and lovely, beautiful looking trees and flowers and all are described. Sound of water flowing from a waterfall. So we should do japa retreats. We must go to such beautiful Himalayan retreats where not a common people don't come, and just, but there must be a nice, there are places in so we have an ashram like situation, and we should book it for all our devotees, and maybe 10 days or 2 weeks we just sit there and do japa in that beautiful scenic place. We won't feel like doing anything, just prasadam from time to time, but all because in that kind of scenario, I mean, in that kind of scenic place, our mind will not wander anywhere, and we'll feel very close to Krishna, because Himalayas itself makes us feel close to him, and then with such lovely um, close to nature, our mind will be fixed in the holy name. So if you are game for it, we can plan that instead of simply going around sightseeing, run, get up in the bus, again go there, get down, again go up. Instead, you just go there and stay in a nice holy place and also scenic place, and we just do japa retreat. I, how do you think? What do you think about that? Sharanam tam prapadyeham ya eva jagadishvara prajam atmasamam mahyam prayachatva iti chintayan. He was thinking, may the Lord of the universe, of whom I've taken shelter, kindly be pleased to offer me a son exactly like him. So he didn't know who is the Lord of the universe, and he just prayed, may the Lord of the universe, of whom I've taken shelter. It appears that the great sage Atri Muni had no specific idea of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Of course, he must have been conversant with the Vedic information that there is a Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the creator of the universe, from whom everything emanated, who maintains this created manifestation, and in whom the entire manifestation is conserved after dissolution. Yatova imani bhutani, in Taittiriya Upanishad 3.1.1. The Vedic mantras give us information of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Atri Muni concentrated his mind upon that Supreme Personality of Godhead, even without knowing his name, just to beg from him a child exactly on his level. This kind of devotional service, in which knowledge of God's name is lacking, is also described in the Bhagavad Gita, where the Lord says that 4 kinds of men with backgrounds of pious activities come to him asking for what they need. Atri Muni wanted a son exactly like the Lord, and therefore is not supposed to have been a pure devotee, because he had a desire to be fulfilled, and that desire was material. Although he wanted a son exactly like the Supreme Personality of Godhead, this desire was material because he did not want the personality of Godhead himself, but only a child exactly like him. If he had desired the Supreme Personality of Godhead as his child, he would have been completely free of material desires, because he would have wanted the Supreme Absolute Truth, But because he wanted a similar child, his desire was material. Thus, Atri Muni cannot be counted among the pure devotees. So, see all these very, very fine distinctions. We should know how to pray, how to pray. You just simply say something, and then after that, uh, it will be less than pure devotional service. Tapyamanam tribhuvanam pranayamai dasagnina nirgatena muner murdhna samikshya prabhavastraya. While Atri Muni was engaged in these severe austerities, a blazing fire came out of his head by virtue of his breathing exercise, and that fire was seen by the three principal deities of the three worlds. According, according to Srila Jiva Goswami, the fire of pranayama is mental satisfaction. The fire was perceived by the supersoul Vishnu, and thereby Lord Brahma and Shiva also perceived it. Atri Muni, by his breathing exercises, concentrated on the supersoul or the Lord of the universe. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord of the universe is Vasudeva. Vasudeva Sarvamati. And by direction of Vasudeva, Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva work. Therefore, on the direction of Vasudeva, both Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva perceived the severe penance adopted by Atri Muni, and thus they were pleased to come down, as stated in the next verse. So the fire which came out of his head was the mental satisfaction. So just by doing pranayama, while Atri Muni was engaged in these severe austerities, so he was not chanting any name or anything. He didn't even know what is the name of God, who is God even, but he knew there was God. And so he was doing breathing exercises to control the mind. Because in Ashtanga Yoga, if you control the body and mind, it says that super soul is reached. So he was doing that, and naturally the super soul is and super soul is the Lord of the universe and Vasudeva, and he noticed that he's reached the perfection, he's fully satisfied. No more. He's fully satisfied, but still a little material tinge is there because, as Prabhupada told in the previous purport, he asked for a son like the Lord, but not the Lord himself. Like how Nanda Maharaja and this Yashoda in the previous Prisni, Shutapa, they did also severe austerities. And when the Lord came and asked, "What do you want?" he said, "I want you only as my son." So that is perfection. Apsaro Muni Gandharva Siddha Vidyadharora Gai Vitayamana Yashasas Tad Ashrama Padam Yayu. At that time, the three deities approached the hermitage of Atri Muni, accompanied by the denizens of the heavenly planets, such as the celestial beauties, that is the Apsaras, the Gandharvas, the Siddhas, the Vidyadharas, and the Nagas. Thus they entered the ashrama of the great sage who had become famous by his austerities. Purport: it is advised in the Vedic literature that one should take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the Lord of the universe and the Master of creation, maintenance, and dissolution. He is known as the Super Soul, and when one worships the Super Soul, all other deities, such as Brahma and Shiva, appear with Lord Vishnu because they are directed by the Super Soul. So wonderful, no? All in one. You just play to just concentrate on Super Soul. Everybody is included in that Super Soul because everyone are parts and parcels of him. You don't need to individually satisfy everyone. This is about the deities. All the devatas are also pleased with someone who's worshipping the super soul completely in a humble frame of mind, surrendering himself. Vasudevam Sarvamati. You are everything. There is nothing beyond you. You're the controller of everything. Knowing that, then you feel completely satisfied because There's nothing more to achieve. He is the soul of all souls. He is my soul. And I've pleased him. Okay, I'm very satisfied. Then nothing is difficult to achieve also by surrendering like that. But foolishly, Maya takes our mind away and says, no, no, no. You should independently strive for this, independently go running after this person, that person, try to crow catch this one, that one, try to use all your diplomatic skills and so many things. People are, that is fruitive activity. Fruitive activity is when we leave the shelter of Krishna and we think that we can achieve something without his help. By my own endeavor, I can achieve. So we're busy, busy, busy in the mode of passion, running around. And from the Bhagavatam, we see these intelligent people, when they even material desires they want, what do? Go to the soul of souls, the Paramatma, and that's it. Easily they get whatever they want. We are only foolishly running around in circles, trying to get whatever we want. Um, it is advised in the Vedic literatures that one should take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the Lord of the universe and the Master of creation, maintenance, dissolution. Imagine, this is the truth, and how foolishly we are misdirected by Maya and not going to Him. No, 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 I don't want. I will avoid that. Last resort, only we go to Krishna. Otherwise, on our own, we want to keep doing something or the other. He is known as the super soul. And when one worships the super soul, all other deities such as Brahma and Shiva appear with Lord Vishnu because they're directed by the super soul. So, whom should we be afraid of in this universe? If we have surrendered to Vishnu, we don't have to be worried of anybody. I mean, we don't disrespect him, then Vishnu will not be satisfied. But we don't independently try to please this one and that one. Some people in their homes, they will have all the whoever known devatas, because we don't know whom I need and who will get angry with me if I don't worship. They put everybody. Actually, you just need to have Krishna, that's all. And we have to tell the new people who are attached, in the beginning, okay, you keep just below Krishna, you keep, then afterwards you say, you've seen the Vishwarupana. You've seen all of them are existing in his body. Just keep one so that it becomes easy for you to concentrate. Now, can you pray in an altar which has got so many, so many, so many, so many, so many photos? Whom will you look at? You get very confused. So, and if we just satisfy the super soul, no need to satisfy anybody else. Everybody will be satisfied. What a easy thing for lazy people. Lazy, this is called, Prabhupada called it lazy intelligent. And we should all become lazy intelligent. Not lazy foolish, but lazy intelligent. Yeah, you just go to Krishna and surrender. Life becomes very simple. Krishna will direct not only us what to do with each person, he also directs other people what to do with us. Very easy. Only our false ego doesn't allow us to do that. Tad प्रादुर्भाव संयोग विद्योतितमना मुनि उत्तिष्ठन् एकपादेन ददर्श विबुदर्शभान्. The sage was standing on one leg, but as soon as he saw that the three deities had appeared before him, he was so pleased to see them all together that despite great difficulty, he approached them on one leg. He must have been jumping, skipping, and going, hopping, and going there. Maybe he was still continuing with his austerity. That's why. Pranamya dandavat bhuma upataste arhananjali vrishahamsa suparnastan swais chihnais chihnitan. Thereafter, he began to offer prayers to the three deities who were seated on different carriers. A bull, that is Lord Shiva, a swan, that is Brahma, and Garuda, and who held in their hands a drum, which is Shiva, Kusagras, Brahmaji, and discus, Lord Vishnu. The sage offered them his respects by falling down like a stick. Danda means a long rod, and Vat means like. Before a superior, one has to fall down on the ground, just like a stick. And this sort of offering of respect is called Dandavat. Atri Rishi offered his respect to the three deities in that way. They were identified by their different carriers and different symbolic representations. In that connection, it is stated here that Lord Vishnu was sitting on Garuda, a big aquiline bird, and was carrying on his hand a disc. Brahma was sitting on a swan and had in his hand kusha grass. And Lord Shiva was sitting on a bull and carrying in his hand a small drum called Damaru. Atri Rishi recognized them by their symbolic representations and different carriers, and thus he offered them prayers and respects. Um, he hadn't seen them before, so he only recognized by what he had learned in the Shastras about their what they carry, and I mean their Vahans and their symbols. Kripavalok and Brahmaji had kusha grass because he's always doing yajnas and so on. So Kripavallokena hasad vadaneno bitan tadrochasa pratihate nimilya munirakshini. Atri Muni was greatly pleased to see that the three devas were gracious towards him. His eyes were dazzled by the effulgence of their bodies, and therefore he closed his eyes for the time being. Since the deities were smiling, he could understand that they were very pleased with him. Their glaring bodily effulgence was intolerable to his eyes, so he closed them for the time being. One person, Vishnu, comes only is like 10 million suns or something all at once, and then Brahmaji with his blazing effulgence, and Shiva also, it was too much. He felt blinded by that, and he closed his eyes. Chetastat pravanam yunjan astavit samhatanjali shlakshnaya सुप्तया वाचा सर्वलोकगरीयस अत्रिरुवाच विश्वोद्भवस्थितिलयेषु विभज्यमानैर् माया गुणैर् अनुयुगं विगृहीतदेहा ते ब्रह्म विष्णु गिरीश प्रणतोऽस्मि अहं वस् तेभ्यक एव भवतां म इहोपहूत. But since his heart was already attached to the deities, some or other he gathered his senses, and with folded hands and sweet words, he began to offer prayers to the predominating deities of the universe. The great sage Atri said, O Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, and Lord Shiva, you have divided yourself into three bodies by accepting the three modes of material nature, as you do in every millennium for the creation, maintenance, and dissolution of the cosmic manifestation. I offer my respectful obeisances unto all of you and beg to inquire whom of you three I have called by my prayer. So he wants to know who's the Supreme. Because he said, O Supreme Person of the universe, please come. So Atri Rishi called for the Supreme Personality of God, Jagadishvara, the Lord of the universe. The Lord must exist before creation, otherwise, how could be its Lord? If someone constructs a big building, this indicates that he must have existed before the building was constructed. Therefore, the Supreme Lord, the creator of the universe, must be transcendental to the material modes of nature. But it is known that Vishnu takes charge of the mode of goodness, Brahma takes charge of the mode of passion, Lord Shiva takes charge of the mode of ignorance. Therefore, Atri Muni said that Jagadishvara, the Lord of the universe, must be one of you. But since three of you have appeared, I cannot recognize whom I've called. You're all so kind. Please let me know who's actually Jagadishvara, the Lord of the universe. In fact, Atri Rishi was doubtful about the constitutional position of the Supreme Lord Vishnu. He didn't know that, right? But he was quite certain that the Lord of the universe cannot be one of the creatures created by Maya. His very inquiry about whom he had called indicates that he was in doubt about the constitutional position of the Lord. Therefore, he prayed to all three, kindly let me know who is the transcendental Lord of the universe. He was certain, of course, that not all of them could be the Lord, but the Lord of the universe was one of the three. So yeah, Atri Rishi is also trying to find out who is the supreme. But this is very nice way of finding out. Whereas Bhrigu Muni, and they also had a doubt, who is the supreme? And he wanted to test it out, like go and insult them and see who gets angry and who does not get angry, and then decide. I don't know. That's a very strange way of finding who's God. But anyway, that was Leela, and it happened. But Atri Rishi just very humbly asked, "Who? Which of you is the supreme?" I called for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, desiring a son like him, and I thought of him only. But although he is far beyond the material speculation of man, all three of you have come here. Kindly let me know how you've come, for I'm greatly bewildered about this. Atri Muni was confidently aware that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the Lord of the universe. So he prayed for the one Supreme Lord. He was surprised, therefore, the three of them have appeared. So that's though the okay, we'll see their reply tomorrow. And so it requires so much faith, right, to stay like this alone and meditate on the Lord, on the super soul, and be very certain that the super soul will understand. Who knows if you're sitting in one quiet forest and meditating, who on earth knows about you? You're quietly sitting there, and you might get doubt. Will it be answered? Will anybody even notice that I'm doing all this? So one has to be very, very convinced about the Paramatma. He is always there and he's noticing. He knows everything. So if you just satisfy him, that's all. Very simple. All the big, big plans of this world, I mean, not world, about our life even, everything around us, all big, big things are all decided where? In the heart. Paramatma is the one who's deciding everything. So the most intelligent person, what he does, in earlier times, people were very, very intelligent in the mode of goodness. And so they were ready to do some or take some austerities, not immediately. I want something, immediately it should happen. That's mode of passion. And then, oh, it's taking too much. I chanted for 1 month, nothing happened. I don't know if chanting works. How many of us really have faith in the holy names? We try for some time. No, no, it's not possible. Let me try something else. So we give up. But here, so much faith. This is the only way. Only way, only way, only way. I mean, that time he didn't even have holy name. He had to do much more tapasya for so many years, right? For 100, for 100 years, he did tapasya to get that to only a child. But that he did so much tapasya. I mean, for otherwise also he remained and eating nothing but air and stood there on one leg for 100 years. How much tapasya they were ready to do to satisfy the Lord, even for fulfilling material desires. And here we are very, very, very impatient. Immediate results I should have. I chanted now. Why? It's not happening. I'm still having so many anattas. I'm still suffering. I don't know if this works. Let me go somewhere else. I'll go to some devatas. I will do something else. I will go here. I will go there. We lose our faith. We have more faith in other things. See how weak our faith is compared to all the people in Satya Yuga. And no, but from reading this, we should not think, oh, it's impossible. We have to get inspiration, not to do the same things that they did, but we've got the dharma for this age. Chanting Hare Krishna mantra, we must be so determined. I'm going to try. And then we don't have to stand on one leg and all that and do so many austerities and all that. We just have to cry, oh, Krishna, please help me. That's all. But actually, that's very difficult because we are dealing with false ego. Here, false ego is not fully gone yet. They are doing a lot of physical austerities, but false ego is still there. But for us, We are not able to do all those physical and mental austerities and all. Go alone, stand on one leg somewhere far away. We get frightened. Then we'll, to live without all the people, without all the facilities. Oh, how can we dream of living just on nature, standing on one leg and all that? That is all been very, very simplified. No, doesn't matter. You stay in the home also. Grihitako vanidako sada hari bolidako. Just chant Hare Krishna. That is enough. No other physical, mental austerities are required. And that's why we doubt it. How can it be so simple? You just sit in your house and chant, and then you'll get, it is the same as standing on one leg somewhere far away, not eating anything and just living on air and all. That is much more, we think. No, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us actually the toughest thing because, in one sense, physically it's easy, but what about a false ego? That is very difficult. The last snare of Maya is false ego. They were all identifying with their bodies now. There's rishis and they, so that anyway, that age it was allowed because they were ready to undergo other austerities. In this age, we're not ready to do anything, no problem. You tackle only with the false ego, that's enough. Simply chant and become humble, more humble than a blade of grass, more tolerant than a tree. That is equal to or even greater than what these rishis are doing. So we can understand how false ego is very difficult to overcome, but we should be very, very determined. Somehow we have to be very determined. No, I don't want false ego. Well, because of false ego, so many problems. I'm suffering only because of false ego. Then we have to be ready to throw it out, like out of our lives. And instead, what is the real ego? Das anudas anudas. Gopi Bartu Padakamala Yor Das Dasan Udasa. So why we don't, that's what we should want. This nectar, feeling blissful, and we'll have the Supreme Lord all the time here. Prabhupada said, don't think that Krishna is invisible and all that. Krishna is not invisible. He is there. He was seeing him all the time. You are not able to see him because you have no love for him. So put the ointment of love in your eyes, just like you put ointment to treat some, eye something not working, then some problem, then you put ointment to treat it, and then you're able to see. So likewise, we have to develop love for Krishna, affection for him, then gradually Krishna will reveal his form to us. I'm here only. Oh, you were here all this while? I thought you were far away in Goloka. No, my dear, I'm always here only with you. You only could not see me. I was seeing you all the time. So we should be aware. Oh, I'm not able to see Krishna, but he is seeing me every moment. He knows. So, okay, let me cry. Oh, Krishna, please reveal yourself to me. Make me humble. Make me the dust of your lotus feet. When all great personalities like Balarama, Radharani, they're all acting as your menial servants, then why I have this big false ego, pride, that I'm something separate from you, and I also want to enjoy like you and be a lord like you? Why? I'm really a rascal, number one. So please make me humble. That's nectar, because when we become humble, then we will never stop seeing Krishna. The only thing which is preventing us from seeing Krishna is our pride, our arrogance, our false ego, built over millions of trillions and zillions of lives. I am this, I am that, I can do this, I am very great. Who are they to think they are better than me? How long we have tried and get nicely kicked by Maya. Still we are trying, hoping against hope. Something I will prove that I am something great. Why? I don't want any of that. That my true position, you are the Lord and I'm your servant. I'm very happy like that. I don't want anything else. That is the time when we will get rid of all our problems. There's no need of any problems because the Lord is there. Then where is the question of not solving any problem? Just go to him, Lord, see this. Okay, do this. Or he himself will control and do everything. So that is why Abhay, a person who is surrendered to Krishna, is fearless, really fearless, because Krishna is there. Then I will not disobey Krishna. I'll do whatever he wants. And then rest is up to him. He can do anything, whatever he wants. That is intelligence. And that is when we become really free from all this horrible problems of Kali Yuga. Honestly, why we are suffering? Every day we have to listen to all the horrible stories happening around us, and we become very disturbed. Kali Yuga, horrible. And but we are seeing only Kali Yuga. Why we are not seeing Krishna? Because of our ahankar. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, simply work on your ahankar. Serve Vaishnavas, do Jeev Daya and Namaruchi. You will get Namaruchi by serving Vaishnavas and showing Jeev Daya by preaching. You will get Namaruchi. And these three things will make you free from all anarthas. And first thing we will see by proper chanting is the form of the Lord. And then gradually he will reveal his qualities and then his pastimes, everything right before his eyes. And Krishna wants us to be lazy, intelligent. Do that. I will show everything. What's happening in the spiritual world? Like television, I will show it in your heart. Don't worry. So that everything is being decided where? Inside our heart. Everything. Whatever is going to happen to us today and in the future and every day is decided inside this heart. Our relationship with him. No way. We are running around here, there, all the way. We are so disturbed. But everything is decided by the super soul. And our connection with him is the only thing which matters. I surrender Krishna. Okay, we are thinking about him, glorifying him, and Krishna is worrying about what to take care of us. This is the absolute truth. And Bhagavatam, by all these great examples of wonderful devotees, gives us the strength to trust and depend on Krishna. That is why it's the most Amala Puranam and wonderful. It is arisen as a sun in Kali Yuga to dispel all the darkness. Otherwise, if you don't read Srimad Bhagavatam and simply read newspaper, then you'll take some depressants and you'll go into depression. You'll think, oh, I don't want to live here. And so many people committing suicide. Without Krishna and Kali Yuga, everybody will think at some time or the other, they will think, let me commit suicide. And so we need Srimad Bhagavatam, which is arisen like the sun, and to remove all the darkness of this material life. Okay, thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Any questions or comments?
Mataji, you mentioned three things: serving devotees, Jeev Daya, and one more to develop the Namruchi.
No, Vaishnav Seva and Jeev Daya. Okay. And we should, by doing this, we'll also get Namaruchi. These three things are required to progress. I mean, to get Krishna.
So Namruchi will come only after serving the devotees and by preaching. Those are the two methods.
Very easily you will get. That is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's method. He is not saying like these people and all sitting for years on end, 100,000 years and all. We don't have lifespan also like that. So he's made it very simple. Just become very humble. Why do you want to do big tapasyas? No, I'm ready to do. You tell me, Ekadashi, I will do Nirjal if you want, or something, I will lie on the floor on this thing. I mean, or I'll eat only once khichdi food in Kartik month. All those things you tell me, I'll do. But not to become humble and do seva and all. No. Nobody's interested in all that. You don't need to do all that. Prabhupada showed us, don't make it so complicated. Simply, for Ekadashi, just made it simple. No grains, no beans. And then we sit and worry. Oh, I'm not doing anything. Those days, they were all not even drinking water. And they were staying up whole night and doing bhajana. I'm not doing anything. I'm sitting and eating prasadam for Ekadashi. So we have a doubt. But you have to do according to the Yuga Dharma and follow our leader. Prabhupada, he has shown, he never fasted like that for Ekadashi. He had normal this thing. I mean, don't overeat. Simple, not we don't, but that is not the important thing. Important thing is to think more about Krishna, do more seva. That is how we progress. And only Krishna Prasad. That's it. I mean, this Prasad thing is not overdo. I mean, no, Prasad, of course, only eating Krishna Prasad. We are very. But this fasting and this and that, we get worried, all these people did such big austerities. I'm not doing anything. The real austerity is only the seva bhav and humility and Jivdaya preaching. And our stalwart example is our Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Jayaptak Swami. Okay, now he's sick. Don't see what he's eating now. What was his austerity? His austerities were preaching, and austerities were serving Vaishnavas. But Prasadam, he never said, oh, I'm going to do tapasya, I will not eat this, I will not. He never did that. Normally, all prasadam he had. He liked prasadam. So we follow good examples like that. And he is such an exalted devotee, pure devotee of the Lord. Am I going to become better than him? No. So we don't need to do something of our own.
Thank you, Mataji. It's very nectarian, Mataji. Very thankful and grateful to you. So, what I'm understanding is actual compassion is preaching, right? Regardless of who did wrong or right with us. Because I think this way also, if I think about my position, there are so many yugas past. Still, I'm here. And then, still, like you, Vedit Prabhu, all are helping me as Guru Parampara. You're all doing the compassion. So, I must learn that and adopt that actually, because it applies to me. So, I should apply that also to others actually. Because I being so many Kalyug, Treta, Dwapar have gone, but still I'm here. It means fundamentally I'm doing something wrong. Even though I'm doing fundamentally wrong, there is a lot of compassion coming from the Guru Parampara, like including you, Prabhuji, and all Guru Maharaj, other senior Vaishnavas. So that's a great learning for me.
That's what one-stop shop, just becoming humble. First, we have to become humble before Krishna. Then only we'll become humble before other devotees. First of all, the disease is right there. We first, every day you pray before the Lord. Of course, we serve Vaishnavas, and that is how we go, Guru Parampara and all that. But even to become humble to Guru, we have to first acknowledge that he is the Lord and I'm only a das. I'm not the enjoyer. I'm not the controller. You are Krishna. You're only controlling everything. You're only enjoyer. And my happiness is in simply doing whatever you want. Whatever is your interest, that should be my interest. You first settle the problem there. Then no need. Then, you will not feel any competitive towards anyone. How dare they say like this? Why they think they're better than me or what? And then all these, nonsense thoughts which come in the mind, no? That is Maya putting this thing in everyone's minds. That will not even come. The root cause is there, our relationship with Krishna. So you settle that. It takes some time. Chanting very, very humbly, Krishna, Krishna. We have to keep on begging him, the Panchatattva. Help me to remove my ankar. Give me a little taste to experience the joy of being your servant. That is when, and Narad Muni, Srivas Thakur, representative of all the Vaishnavas, we have to cry to him. He is the most merciful, because as all the mercy comes from Lord, from the devotees first. Devotees are more merciful even than the Lord. So we just have to cry, and we fix up that disease right there at the beginning. Then with everyone, we will not feel anything. We'll also feel very humble. We'll see all of them a part of Krishna, and we want to respect them because they're part and parcel of Krishna. Naturally, it will come. Of course, in the beginning, we try. even though in the heart something is coming, but, or in the mind, sorry, not heart, mind, so many different critical feelings, envious feelings, so many, mind will concoct so many things, and we feel miserable. Why this mind is still so impure? But the heart, we have to listen more to the heart. They are also atmas like me and all of us. And so once you start thinking you're a soul and your relationship with Krishna, then you will not think of them as their bodies and enjoyers and feel jealous and competitive with anyone. Whatever they may do, or they are enjoying, whatever they say anything, it will not make one difference to us, because we are very blissful. We know I'm not an enjoyer, I'm not a controller. Everything is decided by Krishna. Everything, minute things are also decided by Krishna. Today, dana dana par likha hai kani wala ka naam. So that much, what you're going to eat, even whom you're going to meet, everything is decided by Krishna. So why worry? He will take care. I will just satisfy super soul. That's all. Nothing else. Don't worry. Oh, this one is angry with me. These people are plotting something against me in the job, whatever, politics. We have Paramatma finished. He is the controller. Let him do whatever he wants. Finished. No peace. So we can be peaceful, right? Only chanting. And that is where everything is decided. Our fate is decided in there, in the heart. Paramatma is deciding. So don't worry about anything in this world.
Yes, Mataji, regarding job, you said plotting and all, like it happened with me some years back, around 6, 7 years back, and a lot of people were plotting, and I was about to be fired from the company actually. So I reached out with Prabhu, and Prabhuji said, just be respectful to them and then do the job the way you are doing. It's do the way nothing happened to you. So I just followed that instruction, Mataji, and it worked very well. The people who were plotting, one of them was fired within 15 days. One of them, he left the company. And the third one, he realized that he's doing wrong. He became my good friend. He's still with company, but one of my good friend. And after that, I never had any problem. So I always admire Vidit Rupal, empowering me and, bestowing his mercy on me actually. So he said, like, just be respectful. And, he said, like, because of your past misdeed or something, it's coming now. So be respectful and just do your duty the way you are doing, in a happy moment, like you are promoted or everything is going fine, the way you do. So they were trying to, plot so many things, and they were trying to make me speak something in the meetings and all. So many things were happening. But I was just following Prabhuji's instruction. And I used to laugh actually in the calls and all, whenever they used to say something wrong and all. So they were trying to agitate and like doing a lot of things, so that if I speak something, that becomes negative for them, and that will add in their plate to make me down. So one of the call, they were doing a lot of things here and there. So I was just, happily saying, and I was just putting forward my points, and I keep meeting with it through. So I came out of it, Mahantadi, very nicely. And then, after that, so many good things happens, and still, I mean, there's a lot of perception change, everything happened change, and a lot of good things happened actually after that with me in company, and with this Prabhu mercy, everything is going fine. So I thought I'll just share that one actually. Yeah.
Very cool. Hare Krishna. Very nice. Okay. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Okay, we go for prayers. Now we have in our this thing from yesterday, they said pray every day. Of course, in Hyderabad, the Hyderabad devotees were already started, I think, 1 or 2 months ago, every day chanting for Guru Maharaj. But now they've asked everyone to chant this, every day. Why? Because, I mean, because the astrologers have also said that his health depends not on all the medical treatments. It depends upon his disciples praying for him. So that means we can do that. He is not those medicines, simply the doctors are doing so many things up and down, it keeps on happening. But prayers are very powerful. And he's got so many disciples. Everybody gets together in their yatras and chants for the Lord. Who knows? Guru Maharaj will get up from the bed and start walking and speaking normally like before. It can happen. We have to have that faith that he is going to become fully okay. Till then, I'll keep on chanting and praying, and definitely, why not? That's a worthy cause. Krishna will fulfill our desire. So we pray for His Holiness Jayaptak Swami that he completely becomes fine, because he is very much required. So why will Krishna not fulfill our desire? He also wants. He is not thinking, okay, let me go now, enough. No, he wants to be here to do seva and fulfill all Prabhupada's desires. So everything is going in the right direction. So let us pray every day for him so that he should quickly recover and become normal and be very healthy, so that we can feed him lots of prasadam just like before. Okay. And let us chant 3 times Hare Krishna mantra for his good health and speedy recovery and longevity. Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama
Hare,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama, Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare, Hare Krishna. Then we pray for